You're listening to the VRverse, a virtual reality podcast where two friends talk all things VR. Now, let's join your hosts, the VR Realm and Dr. Oculus.
Hey everyone, welcome to the VRverse, episode 45. This month, we don't have a guest, but we're just going to chat stuff. We haven't had a one-on-one session for a while.
Not bad at. Not bad at.
We've
already got filth on the brain.
But I'm Paul of VR Realm. This is my lovely co-host, Dr. Oculus. And Jesus.
Yeah, it's been a very busy month.
Yeah.
But it's not been a great month, has it? We've had some great games come out.
Some not so great games come out. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm just looking through the website, the VRrealm.com, and just seeing what you've been playing.
I think
what you've been liking.
I think we just start with the one which you streamed. I played to review.
Narrows it down.
And it's the not so good side of it, and that was Dreams of Another.
Yeah, Dreams. So this is something that I want to touch on later because, as I mentioned earlier, it's been a busy month, but we're all assholes. So Dreams of Another is it. The problem with Dreams of Another is it had such great potential to be amazing.
Mm-hmm.
And I think you look at that, and it's a very interesting style, and it's built up of all the dots and very color and stylized and color, and there's style involved. And you look at that, and you're like, that is going to be amazing. And then when it arrived, they tried. I like that they attempted to bring VR to their fairly unique-ish. Not massively unique, but it's a fairly unique game.
Mm-hmm.
But you kind of get the vibe that they'd made the game, and then somebody said, that'd be dope in VR. And then they went, you know what? Never done anything in VR before.
Mm-hmm.
Let's give it a go. And for whatever reason, they chose Sony as the platform to do that. I don't know whether it was the eye tracking or if Sony were like, yeah, your game looks cool. Here's some money. Go make it work in a headset.
Yeah.
I don't know the story behind it. I would love to know. So if the devs, are out there, then please let us know. But yeah, it's like they tried, and they could have done with a little bit more guidance.
Yeah, I think the game would work fine in flat screen. Like, it's just I don't think the VR was implemented very well. Like, I've absolutely loved stuff that this guy had done previously, like Little Junk Eden and stuff. I absolutely love those, but obviously they were just flat screen games. So I don't know whether this game might have excelled more in flat screen, and it's just sort of been put into VR because they could.
Yeah, I'd love to know the story behind it and as to how it came about. Maybe we'll reach out to some folks and see what comes back. But yeah, I am quite curious. So the VRrealm.com gave this probably one of the lowest scores I've ever seen. If not ever, then certainly in a while.
When I reviewed it and I was putting it on, and I was just signing on a score with the way I do it, I've got a thing that breaks down each area, like story, comfort, immersion, blah blah, and I just put a score into their spreadsheet, and then it obviously gives me the average. And I go, right, okay, that's just average.
A number, yeah.
That's what it is. And when I give them it, and I was waiting to see my review gone live, and I was waiting for the embargo to drop to see, did I just give it that low of a score because I was so excited about it? I was so looking forward to it, but then I realised a lot of people were saying the same, and I was just like, oh, that's a shame.
I did. Yeah, I I got access, and I saw everybody's reviews and was like, "Oh, okay." But I think that helped me because you think it was a state of play that it first turned up, and you're like, "That looks dope." And like I say, it had such potential. Like it set a very high bar for itself in the trailer, and then what it delivered was, yeah, underwhelming, we'll say.
Yeah.
And so, because I went in knowing that pretty much everybody that I generally look at and listen to around VR games said less than complimentary things about it, then all of a sudden it was like, oh, that's okay. And so it allowed me to go in with a really low expectation and then maybe come out with a slightly better opinion than most. So yeah, I don't know. Like I say, I'm happy that they tried, and I think with a little patch and a bit of guidance, they could make it more than 40%.
Yeah.
And with a lot of guidance and probably budget, time, and expertise, it could have been amazing. But I think with a patch, it's got potential to at least get okay.
Yeah. I think it's just what dragged it down for me mainly is the audio. Just drove me mad. The soundtrack was a bit repetitive and same, and then you've just got the constant shooting of the gun to match with it, and then some terrible voice acting, which I don't know whether we're at the aimed for like a dreamy, like you're in this weird dream world, so everyone's voices is like weird and distorted or what. But I was just like, it just
Yeah, no, I do get that, and I completely agree with those elements. The VR controls were poorly implemented at best. The gun reloading got annoying. They give you a really big clip, which is great, but you kind of get to the point where you're like, I'm just bored of waiting for this thing to reload. And if you're gonna give me that much of a clip, and if it's a dream, I mean, I don't know about you, but if I'm having a Matrix type dream, my bullets are infinite and I never have to reload. Like, give me infinite bullets.
Yeah.
That's all it needs. So that was another thing that like kind of bugged me. And then I love the fact that they were like, use your gun to like make stuff rather than destroy stuff, which is great. Except it then just sort of kind of dissipates and it's all pointless, which is another element that was kind of annoying. But I get that there's a story in there, which there's a useless soldier who's useless, but I didn't get all the way to the end. I think I've got maybe another stream's worth of content in it, which I should probably go back and just knock it out. But yeah, it took a chance and didn't quite deliver. And the thing is, this is one of the things I was talking about us being assholes. Are we the ones that set that expectation? Is it our fault? Did we expect great things and it really shouldn't have had it? I don't know.
Yeah. Like I said, it might make it might be more enjoyable in flat screen, which like I said, I think is how it was designed to be played, really. And then
I think if there was no VR and it was only available flat screen, I think I would still be drawn to it. I would still actually be all right with it. One of the things that was a choice, that you get to play it in first-person mode, which plays exactly how you expect. You point the gun, you pull the trigger, and things happen. We can play third-person mode, and then it shoots where you look, which is an interesting way of controlling a game.
Yeah.
It's not one that we see a great deal of. I mean, the eye tracking in PSVR, you can maybe think of about 5 or 6 different times it's actually been used outside of just dynamic foveated rendering.
Yeah. I think with the one I've used it on, which seems like perfectly designed for it, is Res Infinite. That uses the eye tracking to aim, but it works for that game.
Yeah.
Because you are looking at the targets anyway, so it works for that game perfectly.
I think I own Res. I don't think I've ever played it.
Mm.
So yeah, that because that is kind of a pat your belly, rub your head kind of game, isn't it? There's like a lot going on. So targeting with your eyes is great. Yeah, like at Midnight Walk, you close your eyes and it closes your eyes. That's nice. Firewall, you look at a weapon wheel to pick your weapon.
Yeah.
It is what it is.
Beyond your eyes.
Oh, behind the eyes, beyond the eyes.
One of them,
Hook me in the eye.
Yeah.
That game. Yeah. You blink and you miss stuff, which is a very lovely and poignant message to get across. Mildly annoying at times because I was like, no, I wanted to see that, but I had a thing in my eye. So yeah,
I found like the times on that when you didn't want to blink, you blinked because you were trying to force yourself not to blink, but you're constantly thinking, I'm going to blink.
Don't blink.
Roller coaster horror game. Switchback.
Yes, it was very well implemented.
Oh yeah, for the statues on Switchback. For the statues.
Switchback, that's the one. Yeah, that's a good shout. But I mean, it was quite minimal, but it was good. This is the thing. Like different people. It was in Bow and Arrow Gingerhead Girl game as well, wasn't it? Where you picked your menu and stuff.
Yeah.
Horizon.
Yeah.
It was in that, but
Horizon Way. Yeah.
Yeah, it's. I think eye tracking is still best used to squeak more performance out of a graphics card. More than actually anything else. Although the Vision Pro, it's kind of essential. Saying like what it does with that. Like with everybody that's used to using a VR headset, like a Quest or whatnot, and using hand tracking, you'll see them pull their hand up, wait for the pointer, and then start tapping things.
Yeah.
Whereas the Vision Pro, you could just literally sit there, hands on your knees, look at what you want, tap your fingers together, and it picks it, which is way more natural and comfortable. But because we're so used to it the other way, it feels unnatural. But yeah, it's weird.
Foglands used it. Foglands used it to help you aim when you were throwing items.
Yeah.
When you're throwing,
I didn't
throwing the guns and things. Uses the eye tracker. It throws where you're looking.
I remember what
direct it. But I'm terrible at it.
That was PS4.
Yeah, I'm terrible at it. I'm terrible at using it. You should get roasted in a chat.
Throwing VR is
by their community manager.
Throwing in VR.
The community manager to roast me when I was streaming it constantly because she was like, just look and throw. And I was like missing every single time. A plank of wood that's blocking a door up. I was like, I'm trying, I can't get it to work.
So it was kind of bad, but it was more disappointment than bad. I think.
Yeah.
That's the big problem. It had such potential. It could have been the chosen one, but it was disappointing.
Yeah. And
the voice acting was
Memoriam. Dead Space.
So the thing with Memoriam, I reached out. I got an email from Mike, and it's like, yeah, just go to this, and you'll get a code. I'm like, brilliant. So I went to that, and every time I go on it, it just says still awaiting approval. So I've not played it. I think I'm just gonna end up buying it.
Yeah, but that's
$87.
It was unbelievable, and that's with before I had the graphics update. The one thing I was picking on in the review was saying it's made for a Quest 2, and they need to put a Quest 3 update out. And now they've done that, and it looks absolutely beautiful. And for like standalone game,
is it horror? It looks a bit like Half-Life kind of vibes, really.
It's basically like Dead Space, but in VR.
Okay.
It's really.
I own them all. I've never really played them.
The story is like one of the top things in it for me, and that's good when you're doing a story-driven like sort of action adventure horror game. Like you want to know what's happening in the story. I wanted to go and look for the upgrades. I wanted to go and look for the little data pads to read, the voice things to play, because I wanted more lore of what's actually happened and stuff. Why I've been frozen. And then very.
I do need a spooky game for the season. It's the 28th. I need to get off the pot on that one. So yeah, that was always going to be my spooky game when I went to play it, because I was going to play it a few weeks back, and then realized I didn't have access. Then pivoted, which was very mildly.
Oh, lost your audio.
What did you do?
And it was there and then it went. I was like, oh, it was there then.
So yeah, that was a thing. But so Memoriam is highly recommended by the VR Realm, and I've yet to play it.
Another one to reach out for me and cover, but yeah, I'd highly recommend Memoriam. I don't want to say much because it's one of these games you need to play, and I don't want to
Yeah.
Another one I didn't expect to play was Star Wars Beyond Victory, the MR one, pod racing, MR VR pod racing.
I saw it and I was like, I don't know what this is short of just a VR diorama.
And
I don't care for diorama.
They like reached out to me to ask me what I didn't want to. Well, they said, "You want to take a look at it?" He basically, and it tells a really good Star Wars story, like a separate story. I just wish you had the choice to play it all in VR, because the VR parts where you go in and you do simple puzzles like fixing ships and stuff, finding parts inside workshops and things like that. I mean, as you expect with the previous ones like Vader Immortal and Tales of the Galaxy, they look fantastic. And you sort of jump in between MR and VR a bit too much. You'll be like, you'll jump to MR like on the tabletop, hollow table, but like walking between each place, but then when you go in the place, it cuts into VR. Like the locations that you're in your little world, and then you'll go off and pod racing in MR on the hollow table, which I think
a missed opportunity. That
the issue I picked with it was we needed to zoom in and like it looked better in person than it did on the trailer, to like feel the view. But the problem you hit was when you hit a decent corner, you sort of had to. You didn't know where that turn was going to come out, because the turn was big enough to be the. So like you turn around and you're like, so it sort of got rid of the skill element and became more. I put this in my review. It was more about reaction than skill. At that point, like if your reactions are good, you were going to be fine. I mean, to be fair, through the campaign, I didn't lose one race anyway, even with me messing up and going off. So I don't know whether they're set up to make it so the computer always messes up at some point so you can get back in front. I don't know, because I didn't lose one race, although I was going off the edge and blowing up all the time and stuff. But the field of view and everything is a lot better than it shows on the trailer. But that was because I think on the trailer there's at the table like a small size where I was getting hold of it and extending it like as wide as my arms would go. So I got a bit of a better view, but it still wasn't perfect. It's just a missed opportunity not to allow you to do the pod racing in VR. Like,
yeah. But once again, this us? Are we projecting
too much? Yeah.
And putting too much into it when realistically that's not what we should be doing. That's not right. I don't know. I think we're allowed to have
expectations
and desires, and I say expectations. I didn't even know it was coming until it was just, this is a thing, by the way. Which, I mean, presumably, and especially if reflected in the price tag, Vader Immortal is twice the cost of that.
Yeah.
Galaxy's Edge, I think, was 3 times more. Like, it wasn't cheap in comparison.
Yeah, I think I bought all of Vader Immortals when trilogy. Trilogy it was, wasn't it?
It was, yeah. I think I bought all 3 of them in.
Yeah.
Oh, 2's out. I'll buy it. And I regretted it.
I got them in a bundle one Christmas when it was on sale on the Meta store, because obviously you got the PC version. Like it was cross-buy, and I think they were like £10 for the trilogy. I was like, I'll buy that now.
Yeah, that's fair. But then again, you're not a massive Star Wars.
No, but then
anyway,
no. And I downloaded. I bought Tales of the Galaxy Edge on the Quest when that was cheap in the sale. On the, I think it's about the same as. Not the same as Vader Immortal, but it had the DLC as well. And then I paid the full price for it on PlayStation VR because I actually liked it on the Quest. And from like even like the hands-on with PlayStation VR 2 before it released, said it was like the best use of haptic triggers and stuff. So I was like, great, okay, I'll play that again because I really enjoyed it.
I own it somewhere, but I've never got around to it.
Mm-hmm.
I've never played it, never done anything. So I should. There's a lot.
Mm-hmm.
But I never do.
But yeah,
Just check in.
It says a lot when Star Wars game can get me to finish it because, like you said, I'm not like a big Star Wars nerd.
Yeah, you're not a big fan of a galaxy far away. So I own it on the Quest. I own the Tales from the Galaxy's Edge on the Quest. I don't know if I own it on PlayStation as well, but yeah, I'll get into that. But this one, honestly, it's not moved the needle at all. Like I look at that and I'm just like, there's just nothing to do. It doesn't look like an actual game at all. It's just one of those
like the single player part where you, like I said, it tells a good standalone story, but it's gonna last you 1 to 2 hours, then it's done. You won't go back again. And then the other pod, and then all the rest is just the pod racing. Like there's 4 courses to race against AI and set new time record times for leaderboards and stuff. But that's
currently $15.99, 3.8 stars on the Meta store.
It has
in comparison, Vader Immortals 4.4 out of 7,000 views.
Has the last mode is like sandbox mode where MR where you can bring the characters into your room, you can pause them how you want, so you could like build action scenes in your room. Like they've got all the effects there, like so you've got your explosions you can bring in and things like that, and so you could sort of like make action scenes in your room. Because it's like
and
that's like the other thing of it about outside of the racing and the little campaign. But I think if you're like a massive Star Wars fan, like one of these absolutely insane ones, you'd probably pay the $15.99. Probably wouldn't be bad for being able to make action scenes in your room. Like, because each part of the
I guess what are you gonna do with it once you've done it?
Yeah, the parts that are like posable, that should be posable, are posable, so you can move their arms in different positions. You can like crouch them and stuff, all sorts. But
I'm not in a rush. I might get it in a sale if it's £5.
Yeah, it's definitely one for a sale if you want to play it. I wouldn't say the $15.99. But
I'm not in a rush for that. There's plenty of other games. I think we've talked about most of them on the previous podcast.
Yeah.
Fight Niles came out and we both absolutely. So that's fine.
We have
My Monsters. What was that one?
My Monsters was. It's all about mental health, like facing fear. And it's all about anxiety. But it's all done. It's all made in quill, not like the Oculus painting one.
Very, very stylized. I do like the look of it.
Yeah, like the Oculus painting that quill. It's all been created in that. All of like character models and all the levels and stuff. All like hand painted levels. It's like a platformer, but like It's hugely inspired by Moss. I mean, the developers tell you that. Who told me that when they were sending the code over. Like, it's heavily you're controlling this little monster, but you can manipulate the level with your orb hands, basically, from the outside. It's not obviously as charming or as beautiful as Moss, but
yeah,
it
does look like a good style.
Yeah.
And if the gameplay is passable, then it would certainly be worth a look. $15.99. So on it, the choice between that and Star Wars, I'm taking that.
Yeah.
To be honest.
Then there was a big release, which everyone wanted, Reach.
So we've been dancing around this one, and this is one of the other reasons why I say that we're all assholes. So yes, Reach released finally, and yeah, it's released to mixed reviews.
Yeah.
I'll be kind. Now, if you look at it on the Meta Store, so if I take a look at Reach here, new releases Reach, it's currently sat at 3.9 stars. 5. And I think even that's a little unfair.
I think as well, like, I know you was like Meta, but it got hammered on Steam because it didn't have virtual desktop support when it come out, and people were just giving it bad reviews because it didn't have virtual desktop support. And I'm like, come on, like, give them a chance to sort that out.
So this is it. Yeah, it's currently set at 3.9 on the Meta Store. On Steam, it's currently sat at mixed. And there is a couple of people that at least claim, if not they actually have, do have amended their reviews. But yeah, this is one of the things that really, really bugged me, because I got into the weeds on the internet with people. Because one of the reviews said, this game is brilliant, but it doesn't work with virtual desktop. And I was like, why would you thumbs down a game, hurt the developer, hurt their chances at sales, and ruin their launch because it doesn't support a third-party app?
Yeah.
That's lunacy to me. I think they could have worded the review in a very, very different way and given it a thumbs up.
Yeah.
So there was one review that I read about it, and it says, I really like this game, but be warned, if you plan on using virtual desktop or the Steam Link feature, it's currently not supported. That, brilliant. Completely understand that.
Yeah.
But why somebody would just... Yeah, they would just thumbs down it, but then say the game is brilliant. That's beyond me. Now, don't get me wrong. There are some reviews that very, very justifiably give it a thumbs down. Any game that is fundamentally unable to be completed, because of glitches and software problems, that does deserve a thumbs down.
Yeah.
There are some people that basically say that they had problems with the game that caused it to crash. They couldn't progress, and then it destroyed their save game.
Yeah.
That is really frustrating.
See, I was panicking with that because I played it on PlayStation VR in full. Tried it on every platform, but the PSVR in full. And it was like, I think there's like 15 or 14 levels, and I think level 12 was just anytime I hit an autosave, I got the PlayStation error report. And it autosaves a lot. It's very fine with it. It's very friendly with its autosaves. And every time I hit one on that section, it just give me the error report. And then I'd load back in and I'd be at that checkpoint still. So, and then let me carry on to the next checkpoint and do exactly the same. And I was just like, when is my save file going to corrupt from this? Luckily you didn't.
Scary.
Luckily you didn't, and I got through it. But I was just like, I expected to like try and load it and it'd be fail like their file corrupt, but luckily it never. I actually got it through it. But I know Jammy Hero had that issue. His save file corrupted on PlayStation when he was near the end. So I'm quite glad I didn't get it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's scary. And that to me deserves a thumbs down.
Yeah.
Sure. There is somebody that I was looking through the Steam reviews and they have 17 hours in the game. And they've given it a thumbs down. So on one hand, I can't say that they didn't give it a fair shake. On the other hand, you've got 17 hours out of a game.
Mm-hmm.
You could probably give it a thumbs up.
Yeah.
So unless that 17 hours, they basically tried to get it working, it failed, and then they just left it running and forgot. I've done that on game. So maybe that's it. But yeah, if you've got more than a couple of hours in a game, I'm pretty sure that you like it enough to actually call it fine.
Now I think when it works, it works. Like they've done a lot with it. You can tell they've put time into make it have nice touches. Like for example, one thing I always looked at was when you're climbing around an edge, you look down and your feet are actually on the wall. It's like it moved, like you're gripping and you're moving along the wall properly, so your feet just aren't dangling, which some games do when you like climbing stuff. You see, actual feet will stand on things, so they'll push up and things like that on your character when you look down.
Yeah, that's it. There are certain things I'm not a fan of moving myself to do stuff in a game. So the parkour and you whipping your arms up to jump.
That
is awkward.
I heard Laurie was on Cross Button. He used to host it. He was on because he loves adventure games. So he come back as a guest to talk about Reach, and he worded it perfectly. It's like Wii bowling, so you don't actually have to swing your arms up. You can just flick your wrist a little bit when you do it, and you still jump as much. So he said it's just like Wii bowling. Okay. It's just like flick your wrist, and you'll still get the jump if you swing your arms up in the air. So perfect way to explain it.
I've had a dodgy thought for a while, so as to not stress it or ruin it and make it so I can't function day to day. He's done quite a lot of seated VR lately. And so doing that in a seated position is a bit awkward.
Yeah.
So yeah, there is that.
I think they need to take the approach that Stride took in the end when they released Stride Fate. That's an option.
Yeah.
If you want to do it, you can do it. If you don't want to do it, you can turn it off in the options. You just hold the button you just run to get high jumps, or normal jumps you can just walk. And I think that's the way it should have the option, I think, because there's some people might not be able to swing their arms or want to play this game.
Yeah.
Like
that's the thing, that I'm all right, I'm confined to a chair by choice, but there are some people that like to play VR that are confined to a chair not so much by choice. And so I am all for being inclusive of anybody and everybody when it comes to playing VR. And I know that not every game is capable of doing that, and that's understandable and it's fine, Sadly, they're just going to have to miss out, but yeah, it is an option is always nice.
Yeah.
For sure. So yeah, there is that. My problem is that I've said this a million times. I'm going to say it again. I'm going to say it a million more. There's like 10 VR games. And when I first saw this, I instantly just went, all right, that's a bow and arrow game. And to be fair, it's just a bow and arrow game. The bow and arrow game with parkour. And then the story needs to carry it along. So I think they have a great premise, and they tried some stuff, and you kind of get the impression. I think once again, this is going to be my theme for the day. But is it our fault? Have we seen the End Dreams logo and assumed it's going to mean quality, when in reality, we should be looking at the Elevation logo? And what have they done before?
No, it's their first game, isn't it? This is where they started to amalgamate teams into each other, wasn't it? And Elevation was like
So
the one who's going to
for a
make all
first
the
time out,
really big games, like the big hitters that I want.
I think for a first time out, they've done great stuff.
hmm
They've done it's a really good start. They've swung for the fences. There is areas, and one of the reasons why I was instantly just like, I don't think they've done much in the way of VR before, is because as I'm playing the game, I walk up to a door, and you start the game in an area where you can walk through doors, and I was like, it's weird that all of these doors slide. Maybe it's a part of the world where sliding doors is kind of a requirement. I don't know. And then after a while, it occurred to me, I think that they used sliding doors because it was quicker and easier for them to do that than to figure out door hinges.
Yeah, because there's a lot of jank when you in every game. I even get it in Half-Life Alyx. Like I think I'm opening the door enough, and then you let go, and you actually pull it back before you let go, and I'm like, which is more of a me issue than.
Yeah.
But
and I can't remember. Somebody was telling me that the Half-Life Alyx documentary thing that's on Steam. I'll get around to it one day, I promise. Even Valve were like, yeah, doors suck. Like we open that and then it'll just open the wrong way. And they had problems with doors. So for a smaller studio to have problems with doors, I was like, oh right. So what you've done is you've taken a very creative approach and you've made it slide. And that's one of the things that I love about VR. And well, I mean any platform, like look at Static on the PSVR.
We need a new one of that.
Right?
Yeah.
But what they did was they took something that was a massive downfall, and that the PSVR had just no controllers. Not really. I mean, it had the ones, but yeah, it had no controllers. So then it turned that into a positive, and your controller was essentially locked. Your hands were locked in a box, and it
each button
such a massive benefit.
Each button manipulates something on the box, so you knew like
yeah.
Oh. But because they put your hands in a box, you were naturally sat like that, so it didn't break immersion or anything because you were naturally sat with your hands stuck. So
yeah, it just added to the immersion in a big bad way. And so I like that when people get creative like that and do something different. And so I was like, yeah, okay, I can get behind these sliding doors. Rather than wasting time trying to figure out doors, you came up with a good solution. This is fine. This works. I have no problem with it. So yeah, as soon as I realized that, I was like, oh, okay, so this is what it is. So you start out with a bow and arrow game because you're just finding your feet, and the parkour thing and the running and the jumping. It's all absolutely fine. And I started to get like Sands of Time. You ever play the Prince of Persia games? I started to get vibes of that where I was like, oh, okay, so I'm doing this now, and this is baby steps, and it's breaking me in. By the end of the game, I'm going to be running from the Dahaka, running, jumping, swinging, grabbing. I'm going to be doing all of this fluidly because you've just broken me in slowly over the start of the game. So I started to be charmed by it. I started to quite like it. Graphics were... I was playing in the Quest, and I wish I wasn't. But that could just be the combination of one of two things. Either A, the PC master racist. Wait. I'm going to live with it. Or the fact that I on the PC, my daily driver is Climax. And we're going to get around to this shortly, but everything looks really nice in a Pimax. Like really, really nice.
Yeah. I think
so.
I think the problem as well, they've pushed this as like, I agree, it's probably the most ambitious game they've ever made because they've put so much into the movement and blah, but I don't know whether I was just guilty for this, but when I was playing it, someone who's played Synapse, I was just like, it's nowhere near Synapse.
And see, this is it. This is where I'm like, is this our fault, not theirs?
I know, yeah.
One of the big problems is they had big End Dreams marketing,
Yeah,
but small End Dreams developer.
Yeah.
So I think the marketing maybe oversold it a bit.
Yeah.
Which then got our hopes up, which combined with the End Dreams name led to disappointment, and disappointment leads to views.
I think I would say it's probably the biggest 7 out of 10 game ever made. Like, it's like, I give it 7 out of 10, like, well, 70%, so 7 out of 10. But there's the phrase around it's a 7 out of 10 game is like, it does what it does well, but it's nothing groundbreaking.
Yeah. No. That's the one thing that I've noticed looking through all of these stores when I've been looking at the reviews. So this game has been out for a week, 2 weeks at this point.
It's 2 weeks now, I think.
16th of October. So yeah, we'll say 2 weeks.
Yeah. 2 weeks Thursday, isn't it? Yeah, so.
It's got 135 reviews. That's not many.
I thought of it as well. It's like, that's an issue with not having it working on. I know third-party software and there's nothing to do with them, really, but not having it, it's going around, it doesn't work on virtual desktop. Doesn't work on this. Doesn't, like, so people aren't going to buy it, and you've sort of missed that hype window now. Everyone was like, yes, I need to play this. So are people now just like, reviews have come out, am I just going to wait for it to go on a sale? Probably.
Even the platform where it worked fine, the Meta Store, 134 reviews. Not many. The other games that we've been looking at, Memoriam, that came out on the 8th, was it? When did that one get released?
8th, 10th.
I think I said, 9th, October the 9th. What's the difference?
Yeah.
So that came out October the 9th, so that's got a couple of weeks on it. So 164 reviews.
We're sort of at the point, and I think it sort of showed last night when we were playing Titan Isles. I'm not saying Titan Isles, nothing against Titan Isles, by the way, but the first kid who come in, every other game you mentioned, apart from Arizona Sunshine, was, and it's free. And it's free. And you're just like...
This is the thing. Titan Isles. So that came out at the end of September, the 25th, 26th. 61 reviews. This is, I think... looking through all of these, Unloop, another great game, great concept, 33 reviews. And then we look at the most recent game that came out, Battlegrounds, which is free. 48,000. 48,000 reviews.
Yeah.
And so this is where my flag is going. This is where I'm making a stand, in that we as creators have a responsibility. We as VR lovers, we are all responsible for the VR industry. And at this point in time, Vex Mage, that's another one. That's fast travel, isn't it?
Yeah.
Vex Mage, that came out on the 16th of October, Fast Travel Games. 15 reviews.
See, that
and
was...
the price isn't very high. It's £8.
That was like a prize release. Like, I played that.
I mean, to be fair, Fast Travel published it. Developer, not Fast Travel, but still. Yeah, 15 reviews.
I played tested that, like, very early stages before. I didn't even know what it was called. Just jumped on a call on Discord with someone from Fast Travel, shared my screen. It was Amanda, and she just laughed at that. She said, I'm not going to tell you how to do anything. We just want to see how easy it is to figure out. And I think after about 50 minutes, she told me what to do, because I wasn't going to get to another part, which had a different thing to it.
Right.
Like, I think it... But I think that was them looking to what level does it need to do a tutorial to? You know what I mean? Like, it was just put someone in and see if they can figure it out.
And this is the thing. This is where I'm planting my flag. So we all say, when's the next big game coming for VR? When's this? We're not getting any more games. We need more content. But
when it's coming,
we as
getting nothing.
Yeah, us as gamers, us as reviewers, us as content creators, we're demanding more content, and yet we're not supporting the industry.
Mm-hmm.
We're not. I mean, we don't pay for our games if we're lucky. Those of us are lucky. We don't pay for the games, and then we give honest reviews because we want to be, trustworthy, and we want to be seen by the community as somebody that they can go to for a good, honest feedback and stuff. But at the same time, we need to do better. We need to look at the games, and if we can't say something that is going to help the game publicly, then we should say it to the developer privately and leave it at that. Because the negative reviews, having a mixed reviews on Steam is murdering Reach. And it, whilst it has its problems, and don't get me wrong, it has its problems, it doesn't deserve to be mixed.
No.
That's the thing. We need to do better, because at this point in time, the next half, one of my things I've always said, Half-Life 3 is never ever going to come. And that's purely because Valve have this whole desk on wheels situation where if you want to work on a thing, you just push your desk over to that department and you work on that thing. And then if that thing does really, really well, you make lots of money. And if that thing doesn't do very well, you don't. And who the hell wants to risk their time and effort making Half-Life 3 when everybody is going to shit on it and send you death threats? Nobody wants to work on that game. And we're going to get to the point where VR is so niche already, the only thing we're going to end up with is Gorilla Tag clones, because that's the only thing that people will actually play.
I mean, we've seen it.
If you want better, we need to do better.
Like your example, Half-Life Alyx 3, we've seen it. Well, I've seen it this week on Twitter. Like, Halo Campaign Evolved, or whatever they've called it this time.
Yeah. Campaign Evolved.
Comes to PlayStation. So many negative comments about it from the PlayStation community, from like this gameplay and stuff, and it's like, why are they bothering putting it on your platform? Like,
like what's the thing? And this is the thing, that people like your Sonys and your Microsofts. See, I would be shocked if we never saw another Xbox.
Yeah, but they've already said they're working on one, haven't they? Unfortunately.
I mean, they are, but
I thought they'd go. I really thought after this one, the way it sold, well, the last two really, compared to the 360 was their Xbox, and Xbox 360 was their heyday. Like, probably the better consoles. Plus, PlayStation 2 was a lot more popular. Xbox 360 a lot more popular than PlayStation 3. But then Don Matrick killed that from his first time he opened his mouth. And then Series X and stuff hasn't really done much better.
No. The thing is, they keep shooting themselves in the foot anyway, because they're like, Game Pass, it's great, right? Pay more.
But I think I really saw them being another Sega after this generation. I thought.
Yeah, this is it. They're going to become the next Sega. At which point, then it's like, okay, so you've got Nintendo, which is pretty much surviving on the diehard, right?
Yeah.
The people that were born and raised on Nintendos, and probably Asia, they're all over Nintendo. But that's just selling purely on its name alone. It's certainly not selling on the hardware of the games. And then Sony, which, they are what they are. So we're going to run out of competition. I mean, we already seen what happens when Sony don't have to try.
Yeah. The
They just half-ass everything, and they're like, "Yeah, it's all right. We're winning."
PlayStation 3 show. That's why PlayStation 3, like,
Oh.
we're absolutely tortured the last thing with PlayStation 2. That means we can half-ass out. Well, they didn't really half-ass the PlayStation 3, they just charged way too much for it. Made it really hard to develop for.
Yeah. I think that was their biggest problem, the development issue.
Yeah.
Which is, that's a whole different thing. I mean, that's where Microsoft screwed the pooch. So yeah, like the Microsoft are due to, swing things in their direction because Sony are just going to stop trying.
Mm-hmm.
And then, we'll just be left with what we end up with. I guess indie PC games.
Mm-hmm.
So maybe we're coming for a massive recession in gaming.
Mm-hmm.
Purely because it's just got too big. Like games like Grand Theft Auto 6, the budget on that is ridiculous.
Mm-hmm.
But we know they're going to make that back.
Yeah.
But I don't know if there's many other games that can afford to do that. Many companies that can afford to do that. It scares me, and there's no money in VR to start with. Like you can't get into VR and expect to get rich.
No.
You can't do it. So then what you need to do is do it out of passion and hope to get rich, or at least to break even.
Yeah.
And I don't know. I guess we need to do better. We need to buy the games. We need to encourage the developers. We need to, like I say, this is where I was going with the whole sleepy shooter game. We were literally just talking. I've forgotten about it already. Dreams of Another. I like that they tried.
Mm-hmm.
I applaud that they tried, and I think with a little patch, it could be quite good.
Yeah.
That is what I'm going to say about that game,
Mm-hmm.
realistically, publicly, because I don't want them to not try anymore. Because the day that devs stop trying is the day that VR just dies.
Mm-hmm.
We can't have that.
Yeah.
I've played. I went to EGX and I played a game called Infant. Yeah, a game that was.
Yeah.
It was like a studio project, a student project, basically. And I'm like, if this is the future of VR, then we need to nurture this because we're doomed.
That's what it's really like as well. Like I said, I don't think it's not VR's fault, but the likes of EGX now, it's with Comic-Con, it's smaller. I know it's just the way the game convention thing's gone. Not just in the UK, you've still got one surviving, but a lot of them have hardware there. In America, like E3's gone. Like, who would have thought that would ever go? Like when you were a young gamer and you were.
Yeah, and E3 was the tentpole moment of the year. Everybody sort of you set your calendar.
Even the first EGX I went to, Sony were there with the PlayStation VR 1 with Gran Turismo, and it was a massive booth as well, like with loads of racing seats set up, and the PlayStation VR must have been, I'll say massive, but there must have been 10, 15 racing rigs set up for people to go and try Gran Turismo in VR. And then they had one year that had loads of games there, and there was like things like Poker Stars was there. You could go to there and happily have a day playing VR, but obviously VR's smaller, so it's got even smaller, and it's not.
Yeah,
I'm sure the booth is still just expensive because it's classed as part of Comic-Con, so they're not like they're going to reduce the prices of the booths. Like,
no, not at all. It's like I say, you go to the XL, and it was barely even a quarter. And Comic-Con wasn't that big. So it's, I think the industry needs to support itself. I mean, one of the things, Microsoft, not at EGX, but half an hour away at the Truman Brewery, they literally had an event for Outer Worlds 2. And I was thinking, do you know what? Do I want to actually go to that? It was a 3-hour, like you could book 3-hour slots, and I was there at EGX for 6 hours. I was like, that's half of my day just for that one game. And I'm going to have to then take a half-hour tube ride and then half-hour back. I want to get 2 hours in EGX. Can't do it. I want to, but I can't. wish I had more time. I would have gone to that, then EGX the next day. So yeah, the industry is too splintered, and we need to support ourselves. We need to. It needs to support itself, and we need to support it.
Yeah,
that's what I'm saying. VR can and is great, can be great, and it is great. And I love VR, and I want it to succeed. And you know, honestly, I wouldn't even care if everybody went hybrid, or if everybody went flat first, nailed the game, then brought it to VR.
Yeah.
That's perfectly fine. Fine example of this is going to be the likes of your RoboQuest, that flat to VR are getting involved. That started out flat, and so they nailed down the core game and the mechanics, and then they just pivoted it to VR. I was looking at one of the things on the Discord and like, oh yeah, we've been working hard with the devs, getting all of the like when you're reloading the guns and stuff, that's only a VR thing. And yeah, that's superb. Do that. Absolutely do that. Don't give up on VR is what I'm saying to developers. It's coming. It is coming. It's gonna be good. Just don't give up on it.
Yeah.
And Dreams, I love you guys. Do what you got to do, but don't give up, because we've seen too many good studios vanish.
Ooh.
Hello. The ones that made Hitman. They did Zombieland. It was awesome.
XR Games. Was it XR Games?
Yeah. They did. Well, they started with Nazi Zombie Army, and then that had to pivot because they went tits up. And it's a shame, because they had some really great games. They had some really great staff. They had some great devs, and it went the way of the dodo. The Starship Troopers game they released, was great. Absolutely fantastic game. Love that. And then they went the way of the dodo. I think actually they're still going on ridiculously low stats.
Yeah, there's beatable in where you tap your desk.
So yeah, it's a shame, and I don't want to see that happen. And I do fear that Endreams are going to have to take a massive look, and there's probably going to be layoffs. And it's all because some people would rather get their exposure for giving it a negative review than help the dev and either give it a positive review or say nothing.
Yeah, I feel as well like there's, because we've like sort of hit where Half-Life Alyx and stuff were, Lone Echo, all these were so big budget, probably, well, not probably big budget as any of as other games, but for VR they were like there, and then sort of dwindled. But it's not helping that negativity from big creators just coming in. Like, there's a lot of the big creators now just say, if a game, like, I've given this game this long and it's absolutely terrible, I'm gonna just go make a video saying, like, probably the worst game ever made and things like this, and you just
yeah, like, they're worried about their own exposure, which, I mean, I get it. See, the horrible thing is that the world we live in, controversy drives views. It's horrible that that's the case, but that is the case. So by being controversial, people are going to watch you, and that's great for you. But if you piss on every single bush and kill it, eventually there's going to be no bushes left.
Yeah. It's like, I find like a lot of the VR channels I watch now are things like Tyrrell Wood. I look at the hardware ones more than anything. MRTV. I go to all these like hardware ones who don't really. I mean, as someone who reviews games, like, I probably should look what other people are thinking, but I struggle with them now because they all pivot with the start of the videos as well. If you want an honest opinion, watch my channel because I'm going to say this game's shit. It's like, oh wait, like.
This is the thing, and they turn around and then they'll hide behind well, I only say this because I want the game to be better. If you wanted the game to be better, you would praise publicly and criticize privately. That's the thing. That's what you need to do. So,
even if it's not great and you don't want to praise it, you could be positive publicly, like you've been with Dreams of Another. Like, with the right work, it could be good. That's still positive publicly.
That's the thing. I have a number of videos on my YouTube channel that have not and will not ever see the light of day. But developers have seen them. And that's the thing. Everybody, you might look at my channel and be like, oh, he only ever says nice things about the games he plays. That's because you don't see the ones I say bad things about. And it's one of the things as a streamer I've not been able to do, because if you have problems live, it's kind of hard to hide them.
Yeah.
So all I can really do is just go ahead, leave a clip or something, send that to the dev, and then take the VOD down. Luckily, nobody watches me, so it's fine. But yeah, that's the kind of thing that I have to do.
Yeah.
But I think that's a much better way of trying to nurture the whole world in which we enjoy, the VR world.
Yeah.
There's lots of greatness out there. Go find it and spread the love of the greatness. And then anything that doesn't work, just jump in Discord with the devs or send them a bug ticket or whatever. And then maybe they don't listen. And fair enough, the game doesn't go anywhere. But if they're good devs and they do listen and it is constructive feedback, it will then make the game better.
I think it's it was Foglands, because I obviously stream nearly 30 hours of that over about a month and trying to find everything, and I'd message off to Zara. Anytime I found an issue, like 13 would clip it and I'd send it to Zara. Was normally watching anyway, but I'd send it to Zara and say, look, this has happened. And there was things just like, we've never seen this before as a dev team, so it's a good job that you've sent the clip. Thing is, one time the textures just went and everything was just like emissive, like plain and really bright emissive, like all the platforms and stuff. And she was like, she was watching it then, but she's like, I've never ever seen that before.
Yeah.
And they're the people who made the game, so I got that clip, sent them it so they could look at it, try and figure it out. And even they just put an update in one of the patch updates. It was the VR Realm update, because I'd asked them to we couldn't.
It was just that much.
You couldn't get to one of the keys, so you couldn't unlock everything in there. There was one like runner key that you couldn't get to, and I spent forever trying to find ways up. Every time I got to that room, I was like, I wonder if I can jump up here, and then jump here, jump.
Wasn't we trying to stack barrels and stuff?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, I remember that.
So when they actually fixed the geometry and put stuff in so people can get to there, that was the VR Realm update, because I was like, I want to get this key. I want to be the only one who's got and they don't have a platinum, but I'm not sure if I am, but I was the first one to 100% on PlayStation, like with the achievements, but it didn't have a platinum. It's like, I want this key. I want to platinum this. In a way. I mean, look at what...
Sorry, I'll get off my soapbox.
But they did it with Bulletstorm, did it, didn't they? Like, got pounded about how bad it was, and then they released a trailer once they patched it. Like, sorry, we fucked up trailer.
yeah, that's it.
And made a joke out of the bad reviews, and that was like good on their behalf. Like, they were popping, like in the trailer, it was just I think it was filled the screen with new like negative reviews popping up everywhere, and then they're like, sorry, we fucked up, and then they were like, we fixed this now, and we've done this, and we've done this.
Which is a good way of addressing it, I suppose. It's a shame that they had to, and that is borderline them saying, look, we've done a bunch of stuff, please come back.
Yeah, please come back and give it another go.
The game again. Which is sad. They shouldn't have to do that.
I think I'd originally scored it in the 60s and then I went back to the patch it all and updated my review. I mean, when I do that, I do caveat that it was updated from a lower score because of what these things have been changed, basically.
Yeah. And that's I actually own that game now, thanks to somebody in the podcast. It's not me. So I should try it. I really should try it.
So we'll go on to hardware soon, but first of all, there was Next Fest. I mean, this is more because again, I don't know what it is. I don't know. I probably don't help. I used to make sure I went and played every Next Fest demo, and if I could, give the devs feedback. But like the last few, I've just not bothered at all. I played Trenches because the dev reached out to me and asked would I check out before the demo went live, and that's the only thing I actually bothered checking was that.
So Trenches, in its defense, I didn't give it a fair shake, I guess. I didn't have a great time with it, but there's a few quality of life bits that I would feedback to them. The big one being that if there is a quest or game required item, either A, don't let me drop it, or B, at least let it stay there when I do. Because I went into it, and apparently there's a whole tutorial which, for whatever reason, I walked past it.
It's just as you load into the game in the start lobby, you just got to walk around the room, and it's like on each table there's a different part of the tutorial. In that room you were first loading in. No.
That wasn't clear. So then I went in, ran around, found some knives, and went and messed around with them. And then I was like, how do I crouch under this barbed wire? And then I couldn't do it. And then I dropped the knives. Then apparently I needed the knives, got the barbed wire, but they were gone. They just vanished from the world.
Yeah.
And because the only 2 knives in existence were then gone, I couldn't move forward. I was in the middle of a live stream and was like, I need to keep going. Off with the game. So yeah, but I hear good things. I hear good things about Trenches. It's one of those, apparently, though, it's going to be scary, and if you scream, you die. Is that the...
It's if you make noise. So if you're breathing too loud or talking, it's going to alert the monster.
But yeah, that's...
and if you run on the wood rather than...
as a streamer.
If you're going to run on the wood rather than walking on it, it's going to make a noise that's going to hurt the monster. It's like all just about sound, really.
So if I interact with chat, I'm dead.
Yeah, you're going to...
Cool. Yeah, I'll never play that game then. What else did I play in the Next Fest? So I played Drop Dead the Cabin. It's coming to the PC as both hybrid, flat, and VR. Once again, totally fine with that. If you're playing in flat, you're probably going to suffer compared to the VR game.
Is out today or Thursday?
The Cabin is out on the 29th. It's tomorrow.
Right in the middle.
Which is a weird release date on a Wednesday, but it is what it is. So yeah, Drop Dead the Cabin.
It's good on Quest.
It's great on Quest, and it ported very well to the PC. Looks great in the Pimax. So yeah, that's absolutely a thing, and I think you and I should probably jump in that and play it.
Yeah, definitely.
Very, very soon. Still approximately 17 hours it unlocks. It's your wish list now. So yeah, I played the Cabin. All the games, so I had a good time with that, and it was exactly what it needed to be. Salmon Man, I couldn't get working in the Pimax, so that's a thing. Deadly Delivery looked great, but by the time I got around to playing it, they'd removed it from Next Fest. So that vanished. What else did I play? An yeah, that was just a bit of a walking sim. There was a game called Zombie Recall, which was very indie. Westbound Wild West Western. Try saying that when you're drunk. Being Jude the Lawless. That's ridiculously indie. and it is what it is. It's a wave-based shooter. Coins to get more guns, to get more coins. It's one that I will provide feedback privately. There's a jousting game which was interesting, but I got as far as the tutorial, and waiting for the horse to turn around and run back to the other side got boring. So got potential, looked all right, but I would need to see more of it to actually pass any particular judgment. Death Flags, Beginning of the End. What game was that? It's a game that I didn't have hands. Once again, Pimax is what it is. It doesn't. Software has problems. Dread Meridian is a survival horror adventure for VR. That was... Oh, was that the one with the weird butler? No, I wasn't. What was the one with the weird butler? The one with the weird butler that just kept chasing me all the time. Yeah, that was... Think Slenderman. You're just running around trying to find 7 things to get out.
Was there no freezer to flip over him and lock him in? Too weird to sound.
No, no, you couldn't trap the butler on that one. By Grit Alone? So that definitely has a lot of potential. It is a action-adventure shooter. But yeah, it's like a cheap version of Doom.
I struggled with it on Quest. Like, I really...
Yeah.
But in the game's defense, I originally did think it was Memoriam. Because I was like, this is a Dead Spacey one.
Disappointment, yeah.
And then it wasn't. And I thought, I didn't, obviously review it worse because I thought it was Memoriam. I just... When I was first going in, I was thinking it was Memoriam.
What else was there? So, one of the standouts, I didn't actually play it, but Forefront, a lot of people really, really liked that.
Yeah.
That looks like that's going to take over from Onward in the community. In a big bad way. People were saying the words Battlefield in VR. I thought Contractors was Battlefield in VR, so,
people's... Warfront. War Dust was the first one. 62 players, vehicles.
Yeah.
It's a shame it came from a company that never finishes games.
So it looks very questy, even on the PC version. But I guess at the end of the day, it can look like that. But if it plays better, that's what it's all
from
about.
The team who made Breaches, so I imagine it's going to play good. But
yeah,
I was talking to Reese from Crossbone about this, and I said, I don't know whether it's a sign that I'm falling out of love with shooters, because I had no interest in going in and trying it over the beta weekend, like an open beta, and I didn't even ever contemplate downloading it. I seen it was on, but
I downloaded it.
I was like, am I falling out of love with PvP shooters? That's all I wanted in VR when I first started, and maybe I killed it off in playing. That's all I played when I first got into PC VR. Standout, the first Contractors, Onward. I just went shooter crazy, and then now I'm just give me a single player or co-op story based shooter, and I'll play it. But I just don't have the PvP thing anymore.
I think you're growing as a person. I think you're no longer our killer. I don't know who would be our killer now. Buck, I guess. But yeah, I don't think you're our killer any longer. It's a sad time. So yeah, there was a game called Sirens, although I think that was flat, so I don't care about that. Let's get rid of you. There were some porno games. They were interesting. Only Dwarves Dig Proper Holes. Looked alright, but then I couldn't get past the tutorial. Wanted me to bash the floor with a spade, but bashing the floor did nothing. One game that did actually really stand out for me was called FYR, The Lost Island.
Hmm.
It looked a bit spooky, and it had some interesting mechanics. I don't know whether it was me. Everything I tested this week, the turning speed seemed to be really, really slow.
Hmm.
And so this was one of them, but it's some lovely, lovely graphics, and it seems like it's got a good start, like a good makings of a good story game.
Hmm.
So that's definitely one on the wish list, and that's one I'm certainly going to keep an eye out for, because that one absolutely really does look as if it's got a lot of potential. I need to start testing things in quests, apparently, because the Pimax potentially has issues. Well, that's the team that brought Kartoffel, the puzzle game, a little Lemmings type puzzle game. They made that, and as I say, it looks brilliant. It ran great in the Pimax, and I think it's got the makings of something really, really special. So that was my standout of the Next Fest games that I played.
Yeah.
Absolutely, it was that one. And then there was one called Come Closer. I'll let you decide. I mean, so I definitely played it for science. They do some interesting things. So what they do is basically tell you to put a controller in your pocket where it can still be seen by the trackers. That becomes your waist. So they're doing waist tracking with a controller. They also tell you to use like a belt or a sock or something and strap the controller to your forearm so it can track your arm still, but it frees up your hands. It's very clearly got an idea. And so they do some really interesting stuff. The models of the women are little uncanny valley still. I don't know if we're ever gonna get like good ones. But it's they're doing some really interesting interactive wanking with that. I think is essentially what they want you to do.
I went
So
into Ball one year for my birthday, just gifted me Dominatrix Simulator, and I was just like, he's gifted me it, I'll have to try it. And I laughed straight away when I opened it up and it was like, we recommend you play this game naked. I was like,
that's a great
I
start.
was like, all right, thanks. And that was just about getting into. You were the submissive. You weren't the person dominating. It was all about like
Right.
it was like kneel down on the floor and put your hands behind your back with the controls in and tip your headset into this thingy to show that you're on your knees begging. I was like, what? I was like, this is mad.
Okay. That's fair.
Yeah.
So apparently this is it's a dating sim. It apparently has a story, but it was kind of a tech demo or a demonstration of their mechanics, which I am still kind of tempted by. And the lovely thing is, you didn't have to be a guy. You could be a woman. You could be a woman with guy parts, but that's a different kind of ink, I guess. And they really accommodate for all kinds of people, which is nice. So I for science I would be tempted, but I'm not in a rush. Like the devs would have to give me a key for that one, and I mean you can't stream it. You cannot stream it. But yeah, it's interesting. Interesting indeed.
All right, should we move
Anyway,
on to?
stop. Oh my god, there's actually a GIF on the Steam page of a controller strapped to somebody's wrist doing a hand movement. Okay, fair enough. Yeah, they're like, yeah, shove your hand through your index. Oh, please say anything else.
So we both had fun with tech, two types of tech. Obviously, you've had your we'll go to the Pimax last. We'll start with the DPVR G1s. Like you obviously had the Ray-Bans, so you had a good thing to compare them against properly. There was my these are my first ever thing looking at wearable glasses. So I've probably had a different experience to you because this was my first time trying them.
Yes.
Trying any wearable tech. I've always been interested in the Meta Ray-Bans, but it's always been a case of I wanted, for my use case, I always thought the price of them would just be a waste. And then obviously these came out, $80. They were nice enough, obviously, with my work I've done with DPVR before, they were nice enough to send me some. So I didn't pay for them, but...
Me none. You're like, wait, Dr. Oculus, he likes DPVR. He's got one of your headsets over there in the corner.
So,
some stuff.
They were my first try of them, and I was impressed. Still makes me feel like I could buy Meta ones in the future, but again, my use case for them, I just like, I don't. If I go out, I'm going to live music. Really, so I'm gonna walk around, and it probably wouldn't work well for pictures for like when you're sudden crowds and there's massive stage lights and stuff. Maybe they might.
Yeah.
But I could only really use them on outdoor. I wouldn't go in with them like indoor in an arena and have them on because I'd feel like, I know they're not sunglasses, but I always feel like I'd just look out of place, really.
Like you say, I have the Meta Ray-Bans, and so when I tried these, I was still kind of impressed. Well, there are a few areas that kind of annoyed me, but as I said in my... Did I ever publicly release the review? I did. As I said in my review, these things are a good start. And all of my problems with it are very similar to problems I had with the Meta Ray-Bans 2 years ago. In that connecting them to the phone was a pain in the arse. That the AI didn't even exist on the Ray-Bans 2 years ago. So they literally... Well, the Ray-Bans, they only did a 60-second video, and they took pictures, and that was about it. And so they had very small use cases, which has gradually grown over the last few years. And they are really, really good. They're really, really handy. These things, though, the two of the biggest letdowns is the audio quality going in and the audio quality coming out. The microphone is terrible. And the speakers are shocking. Because one of the things I like to do... So I went to the post office this afternoon. And I was walking through the streets, and I had my Meta Ray-Bans on, and I was just using them as headphones. And it's great. Because I can still hear the world around me, but the audio quality is astounding. It's just crazy how good it is. So I couldn't do that with the G1s. The audio quality is very tinny. It's lacking in bass. It's the equivalent of having like the Meta Ray-Bans are like semi-decent desktop speakers, and these are like laptop speakers. They're not great. But if you want to take pictures with your face, they are very, very serviceable. And comfort-wise, I have a massive head, and they were mostly fine. Admittedly, I do need to bend them a little bit. I need to get the hairdryer out and bend them a little bit, because I did notice after a while they were pinching just behind my ear. Once again, I have a massive head. Now, here's the thing. I went on a random walkabout the other week, and I live streamed to Instagram using The glasses, another thing that these things can't do. And my glasses, the Meta Ray-Bans, I live streamed to Instagram at WASD about maybe 2 years ago at this point, actually. I don't know how long WASD has not been going. I live streamed to WASD, and I got about an hour out of that for a live stream.
Yeah.
My random walkabout, the live stream ran for just under 15 minutes, and they died. That's terrible. So clearly, over the years of me using them as cameras and headphones and this, that, and the other, I've murdered the battery. Okay, fair enough. I'm a handy guy. I'll change the battery. You can't. Not only can you not change the battery,
you can't send it to
but
them
Meta and Ray-Bans can't change them either. And they want to charge $800 for the new ones, and they are not a serviceable product. They are a one-time use. Like, not one-time use, but yeah, they're going to last a couple of years, and they are going to be ornaments. And all of a sudden, I don't like them as much as I used to. And that's worrying.
I
now
think
these
with the DPVRs, and like you said, the speakers aren't best quality, the microphone is, but I think it also comes down to price point. Like,
that's the thing. Yes, at the end of the day, the difference in quality of the audio is absolutely not reflected in the price. Like, it's not. These are the retail for 100, and you can buy them on like a early adopter sale for 80, which I think is a great thing. Early adopters should be rewarded for early adopting. Not punished. So yeah, as like an early adopter discount, you get them $20 off, which is a fifth of the price. And I don't think the Metas, I think the last time I checked, are about $325. I don't think that there is a $200 void between the two. Like, I really don't think $200 would more than make up for the microphone and the earphones. The earphones are passable, but they're just better on there. That's the thing. You could potentially listen to music on them, but it's not great.
What actually shocked me, last week I went on to DPVR's website and had the DPVR G2s. Like, you've only just released the G1s.
Wait, what?
But all they've done is taken the cameras and AI out. So it's basically, you can listen to your music. It's like a social thing. Listen to your music. You can answer calls on them and stuff. They're just basically like and they're about $40 or something. They've just basically made a version without the more, with less tech in it, basically. It's just so. I was like, what? They're already out. You've only just done. But yeah, they've just released. They've just removed the AI and cameras and stuff. So they're just like a audio device as well.
Smart glasses in black. They look nice. And they've got the whole transparent vibe to them. And it looks like they're dealing with the audio differently. It looks like it's, rather than speakers, is it bone?
I don't know, bone conductive ones. I don't know. I just saw they were just taking all the AI and cameras and stuff out of them. I made it like.
Now, it's a good point, actually. The AI. One of the things that I didn't like about the G1s, the AI seemed to only want to function when I had the phone open. I needed the phone app, and I needed the phone app up and on my screen. And then when I heard the AI talking back to me, it was because it was basically taking the audio from my phone and playing it through the speakers. Whereas the Meta glasses, you can say, hey, Meta, what am I looking at? And then it'll be like, oh, it looks like you're looking at a shitting poodle. Like, it'll tell you what you're looking at. You don't need your phone out to do that. If I've got my phone out, I may as well just Google it.
I can have my phone in my pocket. Just as long as the app was open in the background, I could just. It worked okay for me. I got a phone in my pocket and then just.
Yeah.
I mean,
that's
one
of the things I noticed in the video. that they had the phone, like the phone recording on the corner of the screen, and I was like, oh right, it wasn't me doing it wrong. That just seems to be the way it's done, which is a choice. It is a choice, and one that I would like to see them correct in future. But it's probably software, and they can probably find a way around it. So I do hope they do. It is a really great start, and in a year's time, I think they'll be as good as what the metas are now.
The only thing I thought, like, when I went out to try, like, stuff with the eye stuff, I just went to a local park and I was just like, people walking past me wanting dogs, and I'm going, can you tell me what? Hey, Cyan, what tree am I looking at? The one before, it was just nutter.
One of the things, I've never tried it with the Meta glasses, but the one of the examples they give you is you can be looking at a menu and you can be like, hey, Cyan, what's the healthiest option in the menu? I'll read the menu and be like, oh yeah, get the fish. Which I think is really good if it works. And I was tempted to try it when I went to EGX, then I did because I'm schmuck and I didn't take them with. So, well, that said, I also recently I kept sort of waking up and my phone had massively dropped battery. I was like, why is my battery? I guess it's, the 2-year itch of an iPhone, and it's just shit the bed now, and I'm gonna have to buy a new one because Steve Jobs says I do, and they've injected the battery nuking firmware update into my phone. And then I was trying to, on the iPhone, you can do a thing where it'll tell you your battery's health. So I opened up the settings and I went to battery to find this, tell me how knackered my battery was. Turns out it's 98%. It's great for a 2-year-old phone. And so when I looked at that, though, it said my phone had used 20% battery of the battery it had used since I'd taken it off charge on Hey Cyan. And I didn't even have the glasses on, and it wasn't running, and I hadn't used it. That was the most dominant using app, and the moment I've taken it off, my battery's back to running for 2 days again.
I wonder if it's like something to do with the Apple one, because the problem I haven't faced well, but I use Android. I've never faced. Man just works less than just normal. Is it normally does?
Yeah. So I don't know whether it was just draining it in the background or something like that, or what the deal was, but it was rinsing my battery. So as soon as I uninstalled it, it's back to normal. So yeah, I was that kind of worried me as well, which is why I didn't bother taking them to EGX, because I just couldn't bother to install the app. And realistically, I should just sell these things or give them to somebody in the community that would probably make use of them. But I also am a hoarder of stuff, and so I'm never going to do it.
Yeah. Well, yeah, like I think I ended my review saying it's a good, if you want to have a good entry point of a product that does what it does well enough to be I didn't even review them, which is what I was going to write my review, but then they didn't want me to review them anyway, so I haven't bothered. They just wanted me to put, They just wanted me to put an unboxing video out. Yeah, they just wanted me to put the unboxing video and talking, and then a video talking about the features out. So I was like, all right, okay, there we go, that's done.
That's interesting. So 13 says they are good for translation. How did that work? Because this is the trailer that I saw. They literally did the translation, and the translation was visual and written down.
See,
the phone.
I've done them. You can use a phone app and have it visually. It'll come up visually, or you can say like, "Hey Cyan, can you translate this to Japanese for me?" And then you just say your sentence, and it just play through the speakers. So then you could sort of repeat what's said on the speakers.
And can it go the other way? Can you say,
"Yeah,
Cyan, this person's talking to me. What are they saying?"
I don't know. I know 13 was saying, "Can you translate this to English?" and saying like Thai stuff, and it was translating it into English. Okay.
I need to put them on and then jump on Netflix and then change the language. See what it comes back as. They did call me racist. So that was funny. Yeah, it took something I was saying completely out of context and apparently mentioning any kind of a Chinese overlord is racist. So it told me off, which was good. I say, in the world that we live in, sometimes you can be unintentionally racist. It definitely wasn't my intention, and don't even get me started on my soapbox about context. I've been on too many soapboxes tonight already, but yeah, it was good that it was still thinking outside of get shamed by my glass.
I mean, we'll touch on it a bit for the Pimax. I know you've had yours for a while, but like I said, we've always had guests. I've had mine for just over a week now, so I'll probably give my full thoughts once I've had longer. Because I've sort of just had it a week, jumping in and out. Not really. Well, I've done enough to run controller batteries out, but I've not really sat down and picked a set thing to concentrate on. Like,
yeah,
I've jumped in and out of games, testing it on old games, new games, brand new games, racing Le Mans, because that's quite performance heavy anyway, and things like that. I'm going to put a review out for it, hopefully by the end of this week, but then probably by next month, if we don't have a guest, or even if we do and they're only there for a short time, I could probably give better impressions when I've had a chance to just sit and concentrate on something, rather than just going, oh, let's see how this performs, jump in here, see how this performs, and looks, and what I need to mess with.
Version than me. I've only got the Pimax Crystal, because you've got the Crystal Super, right?
Super ultra wide.
Yeah. So, I think the ultra wide side of things is literally just the lenses.
Yeah, it's just a lens to give you.
There's like a wide FOV lens that you can install, which I can install on mine apparently. I've done a lot of looking into the Pimax because I didn't realize that there was such a difference between the Crystal and the Crystal Super and the Crystal Light. I didn't realize there was a difference, but yeah, the pixel density is higher on the Super than it is on the Crystal. But then the Crystal will do wireless VR using the onboard batteries, which I thought was interesting. I would imagine that the Super and the Light is also lighter because they don't have all of the batteries and the standalone gubbins on it, which is pointless because I went on the store, there's nothing. There's nothing on the store at all. It's dead. So it's all pointless. But yeah, that's the thing. It's become my daily driver. The biggest problem is every now and again I find a game that it doesn't.
Well, I found one through my testing. It hit, and I just went in it because I was obviously trying to get the idea of the clarity, and I thought it's an old game. I'll probably put it on the full resolution and all this. And I went into Batman Arkham VR, and it just absolutely tanked it. Didn't like it, but it was tanking in the headset when I didn't have the Steam dashboard up. If I brought the Steam dashboard up and moved my head, it was moving perfectly in the background. But as soon as I closed the Steam menu, it just tanked again, like to unplayable. I was like, this doesn't seem to make sense to me, but that was what it was in that testing.
Yeah, that's interesting indeed. One of the things I've found, so I find myself jumping between the Steam and the Pimax drivers even more than I did when I was using a Quest. Jumping between the Meta and the Steam drivers, because that can make. Yeah, so jumping between the Steam and the Pimax drivers is a thing. There are some games when you're using the Pimax drivers, because the Pimax drivers tries to inject eye tracking into basically every single game.
That's a good point.
In games, it works really, really well.
I had Batman on does OpenXR, not Pimax's OpenXR.
So that could be massive difference.
Yeah.
Because you'd think with the Pimax, with the high resolution and the pixel density, you would think that it would be very, very demanding. And yet, there are games like Alien Isolation I can play in the Pimax with higher resolution settings than I can without the Pimax because of the dynamic foveated rendering. Well, then there are other games that I've tried recently that the dynamic foveated rendering, what it does is it gives you a blurry everything else and a big black square where you're looking, and it doesn't work at all. So yeah. Sometimes it doesn't work,
Yeah.
and then you have to pivot to the Steam drivers. And then, as I said, with Next Fest, there are many games that either didn't recognize the controllers or the headset, and it didn't
One thing
go well.
I don't know if you've seen it on yours, where you have this problem, is sometimes games don't have a pause button.
That's something that I found not just with the Pimax, but with a few different headsets. Basically, the games are essentially designed around Oculus. And so one of them is a Steam button and one of them is a pause button. And it doesn't work.
Yeah.
So what was I playing earlier? I was playing one of the games earlier and I couldn't do anything because I couldn't get into the pause menu to change some of the settings. And so the end result was I had to just quit the game to go back to the main menu to change the settings. Didn't really work.
Yeah.
But that's more of like a Steam VR kind of problem. And the fact that the Pimax has 2 menu buttons at all is a thing. I think you could probably rebind it in the Steam menu, but it's a big effort that you probably shouldn't have to go through. But there's a few games playing with the index controllers. You would press the menu button on the left side, which if you were using Oculus controllers would bring up the menu, but it doesn't work on the index. So then you would get the Steam menu, and then that's it. You wouldn't be able to access any of the settings. So yeah, some games it doesn't work. That's a little bit the dev's fault. They've not tested it on anything other than an Oculus, and a little bit just a Steam issue. You could rebind it though. So yeah, that's gonna happen.
I think it's
we should.
I think it was the Wanderer, Fragments of Fate, started that on PC, and obviously been trying to mess with settings in the Pimax software, like resolution, and I'm having the eye tracking on performance, quality, or whatever. It's just a lot of tinkering, isn't it? And then sort of hit.
Which, if you're not using the Pimax drivers, none of that's doing anything.
And then sort of, I've done all that, and then I've got it running okay on high on the Wanderer high on a lot of the settings, but yeah, just sort of. But then going in and wanting to mess with the game settings, I was like, I have to exit it every time and reopen it because I couldn't pause the game.
Yeah.
I was like, oh god, so if I want to change the graphic settings a bit, I'm going to have to keep closing the game and reopening it. But
there's a lot of games that map the menu to either one of or a combination of buttons on the left controller to open them.
Some just don't find it.
Don't do that, you're stuck.
Yeah. So yeah, we had one question earlier, didn't we? From
we did. Live Open Mike gave us a question. Said, remind me of that in future times. But if anybody else has a question, 13. Now is the time to ping those through.
Mike's question was, what would be an eye tracking mechanic you would love to see in a game?
This is the thing that I always said. Why the flying ducky do I want before PSVR 2 came out? I was like, why do I give a shit about eye tracking? I don't care about finger tracking. Why do I care about eye tracking? And that's the thing. I don't care about eye tracking. I don't want to wink at somebody. Like it's the same thing as finger tracking. So when finger tracking and the index controls and that, you know, you can grip and stuff, and you can grip different levels of grip, and oh yeah, it's fancy. But the ultimate thing is, I always wished I had a button, because the amount of times I would grip and I would pull myself up and then I would let go and I would still be stuck to the wall even though my hand was open, and it drove me insane. So as far as like eye tracking mechanics go, I don't care about eye tracking mechanics. I think eye tracking is essential for VR headsets, but purely just so you can do dynamic foveated rendering.
Yeah, like I said,
that's absolutely all it is.
The reason I got my Pro Vive Vision Pro.
Vive Pro Eye.
Vive Pro Eye, that's it, yeah. The reason I got that was because I played a lot of Resonate and I just wanted my eyes to act naturally. My eyes to,
which is fine if you're big
and I
in
had
like
that
VR
U-Sen,
chat and VTuber and stuff.
Yeah, I'd had a U-Sen, but other than that, I don't know what I want to use it for. Like you said, foveated rendering. But that's what a lot of them do already. I figured
It's all it's good for.
Just thing said in the chat that Synapse was fantastic for it. Synapse will use it really well. But
it did.
All I'd expect it for now is foveated rendering, get performance. I mean, I'm running the Pimax now, and I'm running it on a 2080. But I'm still getting decent performance. Like if I'm messing with the resolutions and stuff, I'm still getting decent performance. But it's just, yeah, I think that's where it has to be used, because I imagine if I didn't have the eye tracking on the Pimax, it would tank everything on a 2080. It's what they offer that works. I mean,
so
I've always said
I can't think of a mechanic.
I've always said that I'll update my graphics card when I have a reason to. Because of what I've seen, how good things can look in the Pimax, I've got a reason to.
Yeah.
No. And I think
that's a bank loan for you to think about another day.
Mm-hmm.
Because they're just ridiculous. See, this is why I think it's essential, is because graphics cards are getting crazy and they're pricing people out of being able to buy them.
Mm-hmm.
So then by using dynamic foveated rendering, people can stay in the VR game longer with lower end hardware by having the gorgeous visual experience of a Pimax, wiring the hardware to back it up.
Yeah.
I've had 35, 40 FPS on Microsoft Flight Sim, which is notoriously horrible, even on a 40, 50 series graphics card. And I'm on a 30 series, and it's still pretty great.
Yeah, I was watching a video of people benchmarking Pimax now using a 4090, and they had it on. They managed to, with putting the resolution down in the Pimax software, changing some of the things as on and off in the had the foveated rendering on, but they were changing it, turning smoothing and stuff off, and then they were just like, they got it up to about 80 frames. But you were saying you don't realize how good this is for Microsoft's Flight Sim.
Yeah, it is. It's massive in Flight Sim.
Yeah.
One of the things I like to do is I go for a 120 and then half it. So then you get 60 FPS in the headset, and from somebody who came from an Oculus DK2, I'm perfectly fine with 60 FPS. If you liked the PSVR, great, you lived with 60 FPS and you were totally fine with it.
Yeah.
So it's not horrible to have 60 FPS. I would rather have a stable 60 than a juddery 75 or 80.
Yeah.
It can be a perfectly functional experience. Any problem. So yeah, I can, if I do find a game that it starts chugging, I will put it to 120 and then force it down to half.
So apology, Mike. We've saved your question till the end, and both of us don't really have a
yeah, no, we pushed it. A feature that I would like. Okay. All right. So there was one game that I played at EGX couple of years ago. Really that long? Might have been last year. And it was a game where you could take your eye out and yeet that in a direction. So then you could look through your eye.
Yeah, I'm trying to think what game
while
that
it
was.
Somewhere else. So that could track your eye and allow you to look around with an eye shot and see stuff. That's kind of fun, I guess. But as far as
it could work,
it's one of those things.
It could have been put into out of sight where the girl's blind and she's holding a teddy bear and the teddy bear's a viewpoint. Which came into VR.
We played it.
It came into VR.
Sorry, flat VR.
And I think it could have worked in that, like you said, if you've like what you're looking around shows that part of the room that she's holding it, like you'd put the teddy somewhere and control her. So you could use that as your looking, I suppose.
So one of the things that it was like the Nintendo Wii. You didn't realize you wanted a feature until somebody made the feature.
Mm.
And so there could be some really great uses of eye tracking, but I don't know that they exist just yet until I try them.
Mm.
So I guess I will one day,
Mm.
but well, this is the thing. Sony's abandoning the PSVR,
Mm-hmm.
and it's not everywhere in the world at the minute. It's not in every headset.
No.
Only IMAX, the Big Screen Beyond 2, that's got eye tracking.
Mm-hmm. The Vision Pro Eye.
Yeah. The
Was it
Valve,
in the
not the Valve, the 5 Pro Eye.
Was it in the Meta
In the Quest Pro?
Pro? Yeah.
Problem is nobody uses it because Meta don't. All you can really do is get dynamic foveated rendering on the Steam Link app to get better performance from Steam Link, but not really great.
Yeah.
Out of Sight VR is not out yet.
Is it not? Yeah, I played it.
Not on Quest anyway. It might be on PC, but
It's
not
on PC,
Quest.
yeah, not on Quest. Yeah, I think it's only on PC.
Coming soon. Priced $16.99 if you pre-order now.
In May time, it came out on PC.
I should play that.
So I got a question from 13 of what games do you recommend people play for Halloween? I mean, Madison.
No. Nope.
Anyone that played and said to me, what we're going to play, what should I play for Halloween? Madison is the only thing you should play. Madison was unbelievably messing with you. I'm also quite tempted to at some point to actually buy it on Steam because there's a native profile for it with bHaptics, which I can imagine will only make it more crazy.
If somebody buys me a bHaptics vest, I'll play Madison. That's what it would take to get me to play Madison.
I'm trying to think. Like, it's mad because as soon as anyone mentions horror, that's the thing that comes to mind. Because I didn't think Resi 8 was really scary.
No, it was nowhere near as bad as 7. For me, it was a bitch.
Resi 7 was the scary one. So you've got PC VR, you can buy Resi 7 for cheap and do the mod.
Yeah.
I don't think any other game that made me so like stressy. But and then my mind just goes to Madison because nothing's stressing me out horror wise as much as that game.
That game's defeated me and I've not even played it horror wise. So yeah, that's absolutely it. I mean, my horror go-to is always going to be Affected the Manor.
Yeah,
because that's the only one. That was like the last one I played. I played. Which one did I play? Was it The Exorcist or was it the Paranormal Activity? I think it was Paranormal Activity. With the house and the whirlwind at the end.
Yeah, that's the one I actually did struggle with Paranormal Activity when I first tried to play it, but that was when I first got into VR. I think it's because it's the first real VR horror I've jumped into. Like one that's made to be horror, because although Resi 7's scary, I wouldn't say it's directly a horror game.
Another one that kind of freaked.
Paranormal Activity made me back out of it, but like I said, I don't know if that's just because it was the first VR game, proper horror VR game I played. Because after I played a few more, I went back. I just got it through it dead easy. I was like, oh.
I don't know whether it's supposed to be a horror game. It's 80% off at the minute. It's Transference.
Yeah.
That game freaked me the fuck out.
Yeah. Yeah, I enjoyed it. I think I'm in line with you though. Like, is it a horror game?
Yeah, horror, psychological horror.
But yeah, it's really good. That I think I've played through it on PC recently, like not too long ago. I need to go back into that because I played on PlayStation VR1. I was like, I need to go back into that.
Yeah.
Elijah Wood.
I don't know whether it works with modern headsets, but yeah, £4, 19 pence at the moment on Steam.
I must have played it with the Quest or the Vive.
Well, I own it on, so it's not showing up in my Steam library, but I own it on the Ubisoft store.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, that's actually, when you think of it, it has got some scary moments in it.
Yeah, it's properly freaky. So I don't know. Maybe I should go back to that and try and finish. I hear interesting things about the Blumhouse
interactive
House of Horror
theater thing,
video thing. Yeah, where you sat in a room with Mithrigan.
It's not out in the UK yet, though, is it? Like everyone's doing it through VPNs, aren't they?
It's not, but basically, if you just VPN into the American Meta store, buy it, you can just download it on your. It's what I've done for quite a few games in the past. The Silicon Valley experience and stuff. Just literally just download a VPN plugin. You don't need a lot of data. You don't need to download it via the VPN. You literally just need to buy it on the Meta store. Go do that. I hear interesting things.
Yeah, if you want a true scare for Halloween, Madison. Madison is the one-stop shop.
What about
if you want to do your pants. Again, with that game, I think it was Reese explained it in a way of everyone you watch plays it always has their hands up. It's like a defensive position. Anyone you watch play it is like always got the hands in a defensive position when they play that. Like, so it just builds and builds and builds on your nerves.
Yeah, I don't. Can't do it. Can't do it.
I think when I streamed it on PlayStation, I got to a point where it's a dark corridor, and the only thing that lit up at the end was like part of a angel statue, and I was like, I know that's the way. In the stream, I was like, I know that's the way to go, but I am not walking up there. Like, that is going to do something. Like, and I am not walking up there.
See, that's on discount at the minute.
Is it?
£17.70, 40% off. Or you can buy it in a bundle for £26 with the flat version. So yeah, not touching that.
I think we'll end it here. An Halloween question. Thank you for everyone who's joined. Been good having Soapbox Doc today. I'm going to rename the episode.
After we got such jip about the whole Nathy episode, and now we're just proper doom and gloom. I didn't want to take it that way, but we need to take action, people.